What is up, everybody? Yes. Recording this video much later than I normally do. But hey, man, better late than never, right? At least that's what I always say. Yeah, I know I didn't break that up, but still, it's all good. Had to, of course, come here and talk to you about the results from the Sunday slate of games and also for Monday Night Football in Week 11 for the NFL. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did not do good this week. I finally had a losing week. Yes. Through 11 weeks, and I've picked for about nine. I've picked for 9 of the weeks fully. I have not had a losing week until this week. So when you add it all up, I went 7-8 for the week. And you know what? It's just some big old bullshit. Can't believe the Commanders lost to the Dolphins. That was some bullshit. Can't believe the Falcons lost to the Panthers as well. That was also some bullshit. I can see the Bills beat. I could see the Bills beating the Bucks, so that doesn't surprise me too. But that's still some bullshit. And then, oh my God, that Jaguars and Chargers game. What the fuck is going on with the Chargers? I told y'all they be doing that bullshit every now and again where they just play stupid. They've been up and down. And Jesus, they got their cheeks clapped by the Jaguars this week. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like my first 4 games, got them all wrong. But then you know what? That's when the Bears came through for your boy. They took care of Minnesota, took care of many, like I said they would. In Green Bay, yeah, they ugly and stupid, but I tell you, they would still be able to pull out a victory against the New York Football Giants, and they did exactly that. The Bengals, putrid. Jamar Chase spitting on motherfuckers and shit. It's like, what kind of shit is that? Yeah, you should spit all y'all's fucking performance. It's like another loss for y'all's asses. And look, Texas found a way to win. I told you, man, that's just how ass the Titans are. Like, shout out my boy Cam Ward. I want nothing but the best for him, but Jesus, they are booty cheeks. 1-9, I believe, is what their record is now. Well, look, next we had San Francisco, who definitely won against the Cardinals. Like I said, they would help themselves out and get another win in that division, and basically solidifying that they're going to be playing for that playing for their division, or at the very least, they're going to most likely end up in a wild card. Next, we had the Seattle versus Rams game. I told you guys I knew the Rams were going to win, but they did not win and I told you I wouldn't be mad if they didn't because I do like the Rams as well. And I also said that I was going to call it and say that honestly, the winner of this game is definitely probably winning their division. And honestly, I'll just call it and say that the winner of that game was probably going to go to the NFC Championship. So I'm saying it now. If I had to pick a team right now for the NFC, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be the Rams. I'm not saying they're gonna win it all and be in the playoff in the Super Bowl or nothing, but I feel like the Rams could end up winning their division, maybe even fucking around getting that bye, and honestly end up only having to win 2 games, and only having to win 2 games, and honestly they're in the Super Bowl, but only having to win 1 game and they're in the conference finals. Like I could see that happening for the Rams, and that's what I'm just gonna go ahead and pick right now. But as for the other team they'll be playing in that game, to be continued. Okay. Next, my boy L Jack and them took care of the Browns. Shout out to Shador Sanders finally getting some playtime. It's kind of bullshit. They threw him to the Wolves, man. It's like when they throw a kid into the water and be like, hey, little motherfucker, go and swim. That's basically what they did with his ass against Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? A division rival in a very important game I won't say a very important game for both teams. I mean, the Browns know what the fuck they are at this point. But and honestly, I'm not gonna say that Baltimore should know who they are at this point either, too, with their records. But they got L Jack back, so there's always still hope. There's always still hope as long as he's under center. So they're still hoping that their season isn't over. But we got a few more weeks, and we shall see what happens with that. Next, we had this bullshit game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Look, man, everybody's been wanting to say that the Chiefs are done, or they're not the same, and the dynasty's over. And I ain't one to say that bullshit either, because I just don't. I don't root against my boy Patty Mahomes, and I trusted him full heartedly. But they not the same motherfuckers we've seen in the past. Everybody can say that. Everybody can be honest about that. The Kansas City Chiefs are not playing and do not look the same that we are accustomed to seeing them look like and that we've wanted them to look like over the last couple of years. They are just a team that honestly the shit's gonna look ugly, but eventually they're gonna kind of just get it done somehow, some way. But they did not do that shit last night. The Broncos were that team that by hook or by crook, it doesn't matter how ugly the game is looking, they're just gonna find a way. And they've just been doing that shit. Bo Nix, and I mean, you guys know I love Sean Payton, or if you didn't know, I love Sean Payton. Like that's like he's one of the first coaches that was coaching in the NFL that I actually like learned his name and loved his schemes of what he was doing and how like I love Sean Payton. Like one of the biggest regrets I have is that we didn't get the Cowboys didn't get him as our coach, as our head coach at a time that he really would have wanted to as well. We bullshit on that. He stayed in New Orleans, and honestly, him doing that wasn't good for either of us, for him or for us. But love Sean Payton. And man, he got Bo Nix and the Broncos rolling. I think they're on like an 8 or 9 game win streak now. Like they haven't lost in just a long and like they haven't lost in like 2 months. This shit's crazy. So honestly, it's like it was bullshit. I did not see that happening. I talk a lot of shit about Bo Nix and them, but hey, he shut me up. He shut up the Chiefs. Like they're one step closer to winning that division and having a playoff berth. And honestly, with their record, how it looks right now, they may even fuck around and get that bye. It's probably going to come down between them and maybe Indianapolis. I mean, but I think Indy's probably going to lose a couple more games because they just been looking a little rocky lately. But I do like Indy. Now I think the Indy can still do it, but the fucking Broncos, man, look at their asses. And last but not least, for Sunday, we had the Lions versus the Eagles. Honestly, this was a boring ass game. The Eagles play boring ass games. I know a lot of Philly fans will be mad about that shit, but y'all know what the fuck is up, because y'all watch those games more than anybody, and them shits be boring as fuck at times, bro. Like, yes, they will have some explosive plays here and there, but goddamn, they be lulling your ass to sleep. And it's crazy because the Lions are such an entertaining, high-powered ass team that it's like it's interesting to watch. But that game was bullshit, at least for a majority of it. Then eventually they started turning. I mean, they didn't even turn up that much, but like eventually they scored some more, made it a little more interesting. But it was still overall a bullshit game. But kudos to the Eagles, another win for their asses. Fuck them because they're in my division, but kudos to them. Lions, get y'all's heads out y'all asses. Y'all love to do this shit. The Lions be looking good against so many motherfuckers, but when it comes to playing people that are contenders in the NFC or maybe even the NFL overall, they asses be falling fucking short. Not saying they frauds, but it's something I've noticed, and it's something that we'll probably eventually have to have a conversation about. But as we sit right now, I'm gonna leave their asses alone and just hey, let them deal with that loss they got. So going into Monday night, I was sitting at what is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. I was sitting at 6-8. Yes, I was sitting at 6-8 going into Monday, so I was already at a losing week. And honestly, it's like I needed the Cowboys to save me and at least give me the 7-8. And guess what? The motherfuck they did. They did exactly that. They put belt to ass on Gino and them whole ass Raiders, and you know what? They beat the shit out of them, 33-16. Let me go 7-8 for the week. Wasn't a winning week, but you know what though? I'd rather be only one game under having a winning week than to be like 4 or 5 games. Like if I only got like 2 or 3 picks right, I would have been devastated. But you know what? I still got 7 picks right out of the possible 15. So I ain't that mad at that shit. And I'm also happy that the motherfucking boys took care of business on prime time on motherfucking Monday. That's another Monday night game that we've played. That's like the second one we played. Because we played on Monday night like 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like week 9 was Monday night for us as well. That's crazy. But I mean, Mariners team, because honestly, I feel like that. Yeah, my brother was just telling me like the next few games are all prime time as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think we play Sunday night this week or some or matchup of the week or some bullshit like that. And then literally we have a short week because the next week we play on Thanksgiving and everything. I'm pretty sure we play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving too. So that'll be a great fucking Thanksgiving game, honestly. And goddamn, that'll be awful for me to have to pick because I love both of those teams. That'll be my favorite team versus my favorite player. Fuck, I don't know who I'm gonna pick for that game, honestly. That's going to be very fucking annoying. I mean, I ain't because my heart's with both of them. Like, pause. We gonna say my heart's with both of them. I don't know, but luckily I don't got to pick that shit for a while, so I'll think about that more. I'll probably honestly just end up going with the Chiefs will probably beat the shit out of the Cowboys. I'm gonna just be honest. Like I would love to see the Cowboys win, but the Chiefs are probably gonna beat the shit out of the Cowboys. And in all honesty, I'd probably rather they beat the Cowboys than the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, just because of the fact that like I don't want people shitting on Mahomes and the Chiefs anymore, and I don't want that fucking up their record and their chances of getting to the playoffs and shit. All for the Cowboys, who I love, but who I love and watch every single week, but just as the team is presently constructed and what I've seen, they not gonna do shit in the playoffs. So if I had to choose between the Chiefs and the Cowboys making the playoffs, it's like yes, I would love the Cowboys to make it, but I just feel like the Chiefs will do way more with it than the Cowboys will. So, but hey, we will see who wins when and who does make it to the playoffs and how that goes. But for now, it's all good. Your boy, I went 7-8 for the week. So for the total, for the total of the week. I mean, for the year, I am currently sitting at 83, 54, and 1. And that comes out to just about 60.1%. It's bullshit, man. I was at like 64 or something like that, like last week. So, but I had a pretty shitty week this week. It is what it is. But hey, still 60%.